talk about a lot of cool things. If you're here live with us, give us a big wave or throw a 5 in the comments below. If you're watching on replay, put hashtag replay, and we'd love to get back to you as well too. And the reason why you're on here today is perhaps you heard about these viral quote unquote skinny drops that have been going around. You're kind of curious about them. We're going to talk about that. Or maybe you've been looking for a way and you've been hearing, and there's a buzz that's going around right now with these drops where people are finding a way to leverage these and create an extra income. Hey, who here, by the way, wouldn't mind both being healthier and a little bit wealthier too? Like, is that okay with you guys? All right, give me a wave or put a me in the comments. That's a great life right there. So we're going to talk about how even some people are driving to even 6 figures in 6 months. If that sounds like something interesting, we're going to talk about not just how, but like, why and how and all those things. And the best part about today, it's not just going to be me talking, but it's going to be some incredible, incredible superstars. You're going to be inspired and empowered. In a bit, we're going to hear from the incredible Elaine Simmons. She's a military vet. Thank you for your service. Incredible transformation. We have the awesome and inspiring Roxy DiBrito. He's going to be grace us with her presence. And we have an incredible leadership duo, Liz and Tiff. And you're going to want to hear from every single one of them. And I know there will be some detail today that can absolutely change your life. So if you're ready to get started and go through a couple of things, drop a 100 in the comments below and get ready. Like, I love this already. So grateful to have you guys on. All right. And at the end of this, get back to your friend that connected you here and be sure to get some information. So let's talk about these drops a little bit first. Maybe some of you are familiar with them, but they're these like hormone balancing drops. And maybe you've seen photos out there. I first got introduced these when they first got introduced to the market 12 years ago. And I don't know about you. Is anyone else a natural skeptic? Right? You're like, nah, it's too good to be true. Especially when it deals with health and weight loss. I'm like, I grew up a chubby kid. Any chubby kids in the house? Come on, chubby kids unite. So I'm like, nah, I tried the hardcore diet, the slim fast, and all that. I'm like, this can't work. It's just these drops. How are they going to work? But I looked at the studies. I looked at the science, and I'm like, let's just give it a shot. It was healthy. It was natural. I'm like, let's see what happens. And for me, in 40 days with no exercise, because I was super skeptical, I want to prove it wrong, I lost 25 pounds and got abs for the first time. And it changed my life for forever. Since then, that's been a long time ago. I still have abs today. Like, you don't gain the weight back. And since then, and I started to look into it, and we've transformed thousands of lives around the world with these body balancing, quote unquote, skinny drops. And by the way, they don't just get you skinny, they help you to balance your hormones, which is the most important thing. So what are they? And then I'm going to talk about some amazing stories. Why are they healthy? They're natural, they're certified. There's nothing weird in this stuff. You can read the label and you're like, oh, I actually know where that comes from. But they've been scientifically proven. There's clinical trials, by the way, if you're super nerd like me, so you can read those as well. And there are these 2 drops, you put them on your tongue. First one, the Slender Eyes, you put it on your tongue 3 times a day. They're homeopathic, natural, and they help support the thyroid. They help support the metabolism. They help curb bad cravings. They help release fat faster. In fact, clinical trials showed if you want to lose weight, then people lose 2 times faster than if compared to diet and exercise. Ron asked a good question. Do you continue to take the drops consistently or do it just as maintenance? Most people, if you're using this for weight loss, they kind of use it until they hit their goal. They kind of drop off and they'll cycle back on and off because holidays, vacations, life happens right there, So, but most people get a really good effect. The second dropper is called Accelerate. This is your vitamin B12, ashwagandha, adaptogenic herbs. It helps. Is anyone here a little bit stressed these days? It's like, I want to ask what stresses you out. Maybe you're sitting next to somebody that is stressing you out. Just kidding. Don't jab them. I know. I stress out my wife all the time. But this helps to lower stress, support metabolism, and just make you feel good. In fact, some people call these happy drops, not just losing weight, but it balances the hormones. And we talk about a lot of hormones like leptin and ghrelin and insulin and these types of hormones. And in fact, I want to share, the first story I want to share with you deals with this type of a situation. Elaine is somebody that is an absolute inspiration. I mean, I'll show her photos in just a bit. I'll have that be the grand surprise. But Elaine, I'm going to bring you up here. Elaine, welcome to the stage. How you doing?
Hey, James, how are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for being here with us. And do a mental vote. Whose hair do you like better, hers or mine? Don't drop it in the chat. I know. I'm gonna vote for hers, or I'm gonna vote for hers. I could never curl my hair if my life depended on it. Anywho, that is not Elaine. I know. I take nothing personal if you think Elaine's is better, so all good.
Thank
So
you.
that's not what we're here today. We're here today to talk about your story. So I'd love to hear, Elaine, prior to you getting introduced to these drops, you went through some health struggles. Do you mind sharing with us what your health background was?
Yes, so I am 42 years old. I have one son that's 22, and I struggle with endometriosis. I had it very bad to the point I've had two laparoscopic surgeries to have the endometriosis removed, which is painful. And then I found out that I had adenomyosis, which is a more severe form of endometriosis. And so my gynecologist has recommended that I have a hysterectomy. And so I wasn't ready for that. I'm not married, I was trying to stay open to having more kids. I know I'm crazy at 42, but
Yeah, let's
uh,
go.
so I said I wasn't ready for a hysterectomy yet. And so she was like, well, what are we doing here? And I was like, I'm going to try something natural. And my cousin introduced me to the drops, and I watched her for a couple months. I was a skeptic. I was like, this can't be real. But as I was doing my research on the drops, I saw that a lot of women were giving results that it helped their menstrual cycle. And so
Mm,
I was like, okay, well, let me try it. I don't know. Some people may not know, but with endometriosis, your cycle is unpredictable. And
mm,
it was like I was hemorrhaging every month. I was in a lot of pain, which was causing nausea, bloating, irregularity in elimination. And so I was just uncomfortable and had a lot of belly fat. Like you said, I'm in the military. I'm a 24-year vet, so PT was a major part of my lifestyle. And I'm like doing all these crunches and running, and I call it my son's twin that was never born. Like he was just stuck there. I was like, I am ready to give him an eviction notice. You're 22, get out of my body. And so I was like, I'm going to go with the drops and see, if they work. And within the first month, I noticed a difference with my cycle and my cramps. They were just manageable to the point where I wasn't stuck in bed. I was able to move around. And although it extended it a couple more days, it wasn't as heavy. And I was like, I'll take it. This is a plus. And so by month two, I'm like, oh, I'm losing some weight here. I'm looking kind of cute. And so I really noticed, a difference. The picture at the top in June was probably 3.5 months into taking the drops. So, you could see it's still a little bloating, but not a lot. But July, the back fat is gone, the belly fat is gone. By this time, I'm in the DR with the two-piece on.
come on.
And I was comfortable. I went from being ashamed to wear, a two-piece swimsuit to being comfortable and free on the beach. And I have to thank the drops for that, because I was very self-conscious. I don't know if you want to show the next picture, James, but I was wearing the
Mm,
the
I'd love it.
tops that, they look like maternity tops, but they're not really maternity tops. Just to hide my belly. And I wore a lot of yoga pants because they had elastic. And now I don't have to do that, and I'm happy. I'm very excited. And just the fact that I could function when I'm on my cycle is the biggest thing for me. If I didn't lose a pound and that was the only result that I had from using the drops, I would have been happy. But the fact that I was able to lose weight with it as well, yeah, I'm telling the world about it. You can't get me to shut up about it. I love the
Come
drops.
on. Elaine, we are so proud of you. Throw some love in the chat. It's a major deal what you shared because endometriosis, if you're not familiar, it affects a lot of women now because there are a lot of hormonal imbalance things. And as you're using the drops coupled with the lifestyle, all hormones affect each other. And that's a miracle there. And to lose weight, I mean, one thing I say is you can't suck back fat. So congratulations, that's amazing there. So Elaine, thank you for inspiring us all. And wow, I actually didn't know that about your story. So I'm like mind blown right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, I want you to think like guys have hormones too, by the way. But so many women struggle with that. Who here can think about at least one woman that's struggling with perimenopause, menopause, or like hormonal imbalance stuff like endometriosis, right? Like it's really, really big. I see my friend said in the chat, what's up, man? So that's number one. But on the flip side, like this affects all different types of people. And everyone has hormones. This next story is a completely different one, but just as inspiring as well too. And I have the honor of bringing up the amazing, the inspiring Miss Roxy DiBrito. What's up, Roxy?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Be here.
Hi. Thanks for joining us. It's such an honor. You've had quite a health history too, and quite a transformation. Tell us what you were struggling with and what you were going through.
I tell you, my health has changed so dramatically in the last 8 months that I feel like a completely different person. But what happened is I've always had a hearing loss, and I suddenly lost a lot more, and it was making it really difficult to do my job, and it was really stressful. And you know how bit by bit we think we're handling stress? Well, until you get away from it, you don't realize how much it's really affected you. And so I retired last summer, but right before I retired, I did a physical, and my doctor was like, you have got to get this blood pressure down and your cholesterol's out, right? And so she's like putting me on meds right then. I said, no. I don't want to do it that way. Because I've usually been a lot healthier. And so after I retired, I took a little break with a friend, and it's so funny. I was trying on all these clothes, and I come out and she goes, oh, you look great. And I'm like, I go back in, I would like change clothes 5 times because I was never comfortable in my own skin. And so when I got back home, she called me up and said, my friend knows about these drops, and people are really getting their health back, and they're losing weight, and you might want to talk to her. So I was all over it because I worked for a medical company and we had our own plan, and it didn't work for me. And I've tried numerous other ones over time. And it just, I was at my heaviest my whole life, and I'm not a big girl. So I got the drops and I started them. I'd heard all these amazing stories, and it was like, I'm all over it. I'm ready to try this. And, within the first week, I could not believe the change in my cravings. And I probably over the last 7 years of average 3 to 5 hours of sleep a night. And suddenly I'm waking up and I've gotten, 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. And it's like, along with, of course, comes energy. And I couldn't believe the change. It was like, I felt like 10, 15 years younger. And at the time I was 69, I just turned 70. And
no, you're not. What?
I have people, they just tell me, it's like, I want that. And they kind of spin a circle. I want that energy. And I'm so thrilled with it. And that was just one of the things. I see you're showing my picture there. So I lost 33 pounds those first 3 months. 30. I could not believe it. In fact, my sister took these pictures, and when she looked at them, she was like, oh my gosh. And then on the top picture, those are the pants I wore my last day of work. And so I went down 4 sizes in my pants. And at about 6 weeks, I remember trying on some pants, and I put them on again and washed them, put them on a week later, and I'm like pulling them around and twisting. It's like, what do I have on? and it was like the weight across my tummy area and my back, it was just like melting off, and I've never seen anything like it. But oh my gosh, I felt great. So I went down the 4 pant sizes. By the end of the 3 months, I called my doctor and said, okay, schedule me another blood panel. And we did. And I went in, and she said, I don't know what you're doing, but your cholesterol is great. You've dropped like 46 points. And my good cholesterol went up. And then I went and got my blood pressure because it was just definitely getting too high. The stress was really, like I said, taking a toll. But my blood pressure has dropped. And so, I took it for a few months, and then Christmas came. And so I kind of went off because I'm like, well, I'm going to eat whatever I want, right? And then I went on a cruise for my birthday this spring. And for 3 weeks, I ate everything I wanted. And I was on a cruise. So, they have food all the time, and they have all these desserts. And I had a heyday. I was happy because I love food. I just love food. And so I came back, I gained a few pounds. And so I just got back on my eating plan. I was kind of more in the maintenance where I was eating pretty good, and I'd still have a treat meal or a dessert or something here and there. And I think I gained about 6-7 pounds, and they were gone, like just gone. I was back down again. So, it really reset metabolism so that my body said, no, this is your right weight. And I cannot believe the motivation that this has given me. It's like, who doesn't want to lose weight, but who doesn't want to lose it faster? And it just kept me so motivated and on target. And I'm happier. I'm just, my mood improved. There were just so many benefits. And I'm still down. I'm almost down another size. And now I'm kind of starting to work out more, and I'm going to get my muscle back. And I can't say enough about how these have helped me get my health back, and how much they've changed for me. And there's so many people that need help. Why would you want to not tell people about them?
Makes sense. Oh my gosh. 70 years young, guys. I have no excuse right here. So Roxy, I know you're super on the drops. Any other, I know there's there was a question, what products did you use? Of course, the drops. Was there anything else too that was a benefit for you?
Yes. I started using Restorix because I'd been exposed to enough of things in my work over the years. And so when I hit a plateau, I learned about Restorix and how it pulls the heavy metals out. And that really helped me break through. And then I was also taking the Renew, because, I loved how I felt after getting such a good night's sleep. And I had done other human growth hormone products, and this was so much more natural. So those were my main ones, but I take Noni every day. And Renew. But I even handled the.
So Renewed. Awesome. There's a lot of products. Like, this company has like 80 plus products, but definitely start with the drops. And then if you're into the other things, Restorix, the heavy metal detox, Renews an HGH booster, basically. And then Noni is a great superfruit juice. And hey, if we can all look and feel like Roxy, who wouldn't want that? Congratulations, sister. Thank you for sharing and inspiring all of us.
So thankful.
Absolutely. My gosh. Who here already feels better just being on here so far, right? Give me a wave or put a me in the comments. Like, it's just, this is what it's all about, right? Transforming lives. So at this point, if you're not yet using the product, like, highly encourage, get back with the person that connected you with this and ask them, how do I get those? All right, maybe you're interested in some of the others as well too. Definitely do that as well too. But I love what Roxy led with. She said, if you know there's something that's so transformative, even if you haven't tried it yourself, but just look at these stories, who here feels like, it's like that saying, if you found a cure to cancer, wouldn't it be like an atrocity to not share it? You find good things, you want to share it out there. So what if there were a way that you could share this and get your product paid for, make an extra $500 a month, or maybe even do something even more serious as well? Who here would be interested in learning how that aspect works? Throw one in the comments if that's the case. If not, then you can block your ears. But this company gives a very unique potential to just partner with the company. Ironically, the company is called Partner Co. So for a one-time lifetime $30 membership, you get an ability to start sharing the products, earning up to 30% retail profits, just sharing the link and sharing the product, put it wherever that you want. And what's unique here as well is we have a system that's super simple. Now, I'm very real. I'm very blunt with things, which is, who here has ever felt like you're being sold to? You don't like being spammy or annoying or, bugging your friends and family, right? Like, none of us like doing that. We have a simple system where if you could just share a link, it'll kind of do a lot of the work for you. We call it the machine. Automated sales funnels, automated follow-ups, where you just share your story. You share other people's stories, and you start to see how this starts to happen. And we want to make it a lot easier out there. And we have a system that if you really put some effort into it, in 6 months, we've seen people get to 6 figures, even as well too, or less, whatever that you want. I want to introduce you to an incredible leadership duo here, because they are experts when it comes to health. They are also experts when it comes to business, but they had built a $10 million sales team. Get that, 10 million. And they chose Partner Co. They chose here, and them and their team are just absolutely exploding out of the time of their life. But I want to introduce you to our newest, actually, I can't keep up with them, senior directors. We got Liz, Oswald, and also Tiff Ryman, who are now not directors anymore, but now senior directors. Congratulations. So proud of you guys. And my gosh.
Thank
All
you.
right, Tiff and Liz. Hi, thanks for joining us. I know it's crazy times right now with school starting and all the things. But do you guys mind introducing just a little bit about your guys' background, where you come from, business background, life, stuff like that, real quick?
Sure. Go ahead, Tiff.
Okay, awesome. Well, my name's Tiffany Ryman. I'm 38 years old. I live in Florida and I have 4 kids. And so when we're talking about bedtime, it's about that time for all of my kiddos. It's their first week back at school. And I definitely was not looking for, network marketing to be a way of provision for my family. Honestly, I didn't even really understand the business model. It was something that I happened to discover through a health crisis myself 7 years ago after my last baby was born. We went in for an average ready to go C-section, and he was in a terrible birthing position. And there was just some really hard circumstances around the delivery, and that caused my body to go into an immune response to all food. And so basically for 5 months, we thought that I wasn't going to pull through and make it. And we were talking all kinds of plans of, how are we going to take care of the kids? How are you going to take care of the kids? And conventional medicine could not help me. And I was the person that was like, well, if I'm sick, take me to the doctor. But that actually did not work for me. If I learned anything, it was that doctors, while we need them and they're important, they are not God, and that you literally must advocate for your own health. And so it's important just to simply self-educate. And so honestly, that's what I began to do. I began to self-educate, and I looked at alternatives for, blood testing and all of those sort of things. And I just couldn't unsee what I was seeing. And from there, I just decided I was going to take my life back, and we finally started to make some progress. And it just so happened that in that process of advocating for my own health, I was introduced to this space and somehow started by a miracle just making money, and thousands of dollars just stacking up in an account, not my bank account, but in the company that was giving me the account for me to transfer funds to my personal account. And that's whenever the dreams really started coming alive in me and my husband. And that was back in 2017, you guys. And the rest is history. The amount of freedom that one, yes, just by somebody reaching out to me and asking me, how are you feeling? She got vomited on. And that one question literally changed my life. And I'm so thankful forever that she gave me the opportunity to step into something like this. And I mean, the next thing you know, we're saying yes to more opportunities. We're being obedient, stepping into helping a company go from e-commerce into the social selling space. And my business partner and I both said yes to that together. She's my best friend, Elizabeth Allschwald. I could not even imagine my life any other way than running my every single day routine with this incredible and beautiful woman. And so we just said yes to that opportunity together to step into a company and help pull it into social selling. And with that opportunity, we were able to work with incredible people and build a $10 million sales team from the time that we were there. And none of that is by our own effort. That's a collective effort from people that just love one another and believe in what they are promoting to their friends, family, and to the world. And so, yeah, that's just a little bit of a background, but she's got to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Liz,
I don't
how'd
think
you
there's
get
any
into
gaps, girl. Yeah, well, Tiffany and I met through actually a mastermind for Kingdom Entrepreneurs, which is a whole other rabbit trail, but we were in that room together. And I was trying to build a coaching business. I was mentoring single moms. I had been a single mom, and I was having a hard time getting my business off the ground. And I thought that this industry was like not real entrepreneurship. I thought it was like, that's what the people that can't do other stuff do. And I was a little arrogant about it, right? I didn't know what I didn't know. And I remember Tiffany saying, hey, if just give it 30 days. It doesn't have to be your main thing, but it can be a thing. And if you have results, then you can share your results, and it can be as simple as that. And the way she presented it to me was, you can either try the product and get some product credit, or you can make cash too. You can get product credit and cash. And I was like, well, why would I turn down cash? So anyway, we were with another company together for about 30 days before we went to launch this other company that we've been with for the last several years. And what I discovered about this industry is that it is the most fun thing I've ever done. And can I tell you, I've dabbled in a lot of things with entrepreneurship. I've done real estate investing. My husband and I started an Airbnb, super passionate about lots of things, but there is nothing like the community and the fun of running with people who are driven, who are like-minded, like-hearted. They want the same things. We're creating a lifestyle that gives freedom for our families. We're activating people. I found out through this industry that I'm an activator. I love to get people to start dreaming bigger. And it starts as this little bitty, like, what if we could pay for groceries? What if we could cover a car payment? And then you start thinking, what if I could bring my husband home from his 9-to-5 job? What if we could travel all over the world we have a blended family, y'all, with 7 kids. James, I don't even know if you knew that yet. We have 7 children.
I didn't know that.
So,
Oh my
so
God.
vacation is expensive for our family, you guys. We spent the first several years of our marriage, we couldn't even get on a plane because there's 9 of us. So this industry gave us the taste of actual freedom. But the company that we were with, we're not going to say anything negative about that experience because we learned so much and we honor where we came from. We built a lot of muscle. But what happened with our introduction to James and this opportunity and these products, we stepped into the room, we saw this much, and we couldn't unsee it. And there was no looking back. So I'm like 2 weeks in and down 6 pounds, you guys. My husband's lost 10 pounds or more. He keeps forgetting to weigh himself. We feel amazing. I am getting the giggles. My kids are like, you are so happy. And I was happy to start, y'all. I'm known to be a happy person, but I'm happier if that was even possible. Like, we feel so good. Our team is growing. People that were with us at our previous company who had not experienced, none of us had experienced the momentum like we are right now, at least not in years. But some who would say, oh, I could sell the products, but I didn't do much like recruiting or team building. The momentum we're experiencing here, how easy it is to share these products, how blown up our inboxes are. Y'all, it's the funniest thing. We're all laughing because we're all like, I'm so behind. I have 50 people waiting on a message. I can't even begin to get to everyone who wants information on these products. I'm posting a couple of things in my stories. I accidentally went live twice in 1 week, which I probably won't do that again, you guys, because that was like the floodgates. telling the story, but people need these products. People need these products, and people need, James, I will say, the culture that you've created within our team. This organization is a dream come true. We were so tired at our last opportunity, and we didn't walk away because we couldn't leave the room with our people. And we were believing a lie that we could never find it anywhere else. And what we found actually in stepping in the room with you is it was an upgrade. We thought we had to stay because we were afraid of losing what we'd built. And now we have even more. Like, it has been the ultimate. Do you see the chat? All of our girls are like tears because you have been, I can't even begin to tell you how much it's meant to have your support, your leadership. We thought that we were going to have to lay down dreams, and now we're stepping into bigger dreams. And so much of that is the product, but so much of that, James, is you and the others that we're getting to run alongside. I know it's not all you, but you have a whole fan club in our team because you have been so kind and generous to us with your time. So I don't even know what I'm supposed to be talking about. I said yes to this to hopping on this call, but we are so grateful to be here. And Tiffany, you got tears too. We're so grateful to be here. It is an extreme privilege. Our families are, we just experienced the company that we've been with. You guys, I don't know how much I should get into this story, but just real quick, we made a decision to come over here. And 2 days later, the company that we've been serving announced that they're changing the business model, and our 6-figure paychecks were going away. 2 days later. So what we thought we were going to have to sacrifice, the door was actually closed for us. And so right now we're facing this huge, like, you know, it's no joke to have a 6-figure income taken away, but I can't even be sad about it, you guys. I feel so full of hope and expectation because I know God is going to absolutely blow up and 10x, 100x everything we built, because the foundation here is so solid. It is so solid. The grass is so green. You guys have prepared a way for us. And so I'm just grateful. Yeah, come on.
That's a word.
Tiffany.
That's a word.
I don't know what else to say.
Mic drop. That's it.
That was. And I think the word is what dreams have died. Right? Like, what dreams seem to be dying for everyone on this. Maybe it's a health dream, maybe it's a business dream, maybe it's a financial dream. But if you're still here right now, your story's not done yet. And if you're willing to take the next courageous step of saying, let me just look again, let me hope one more time, let me allow my heart to just open up and see what's possible. You heard that with Elaine, you heard that with Roxy, you hear that with Liz and Tiff. So many times good is the enemy of great. And that's what you find. So Tiff, I'll give the last word for you. So you're looking at this 2 weeks in, team's blowing up, loving the products and everything. What do you see in the future for where we're all going? Where do you see the future for this company, this team, yourself?
Oh man, I don't want to get wrecked again, but I want to backpedal for just 1 second. And I want to make this very clear for the people that maybe have been stagnant and just going through life and simply just wanted to feel better and never entertained an opportunity. For me, the opportunities had died in my heart. I literally had come to terms that things were coming to a death. The dreams were coming to a death. And I needed resurrection in those dreams, but I was like, okay, I'm willing to lay this industry down. And literally our mentor, one of our mentors who Liz mentioned and from the mastermind that we were in for Kingdom Entrepreneurship, he always says that God will trick you into an upgrade. He'll trick you. And that's what this has been for us. We weren't looking for an opportunity. It was presented in a way that was through simple discovery. And then I became curious. And then I couldn't get enough of what I was hearing. And so trusting the process, leaning into that gut feeling that we just had. And I'm like, Liz, just get in the chat, girl. We got to get in a chat. We got to talk to this guy. He knows what he's talking about. I can't help it. I felt like a giddy I don't know, 22-year-old. Like, it was just so fun, the feelings that I was really experiencing. And when we've stepped in here and seen the women have the amount of success that they're having literally every single day, recruiting people in different countries, and women that didn't recruit a lot, but they're just on fire. There's wind and there's grace on it. And it's just honestly blowing our minds, seeing their potential totally be unlocked right now. And so what do I see for the future? I mean, I cannot even fathom the things, the open doors that are coming for each and every one of us. I see freedom. I see a culture on fire. I see family gathering by the thousands. I cannot wait to meet people internationally. This is, I don't even know where you guys are on the scope of global sales, but all I know is that I want a piece of it, and I want every single one of our teams to have a piece of it, and every person that they're going to talk to have a piece of it, and that there is more than enough room at the table for you to have whatever you want. You just got to be willing to step in and discover it for yourself and just trust the process. Make the money. There's too many ways to make money. Just get in and do the things, and your bank account will fill up too.
Let's go. Who here wants a piece of this? All right, put me in the comments or give us a wave if that's the case. Liz and Tiff, it's an honor. Congratulations on your yes. Congratulations on your many promotions. And bigger congratulations on seeing you lead your people and seeing them transform their lives. And you're already impacting all of us, and you've activated and unlocked things even within me. I feel like a giddy little kid again as well too. So it's an honor. Thank you guys so much. And guys, at the end of this, man, if you're not excited and feeling giddy and feeling joyful, put in the chat, by the way, how do you feel right now? What's a word that describes how you feel? Is it grateful? Is it excited? Is it hopeful? Hope, right? Is super excited, blessed, wow. Like, this is what the world needs more than ever. The world's going through some change. There's a lot of stress, a lot of stuff. And I believe the gift that we have here with our amazing products, our amazing opportunity, our amazing culture is an awesome solution that's out there. So whether it's getting involved with the amazing products that we have, that Roxy and Elaine were able to share their stories about, or it's partnering with us, and you're like, you feel like we're one of us. We love to have you. And there's more than enough, just like what Tiff said. Or if you feel activated with what Liz said, get back with your friends, say, how do we get started with the next steps? Grab your membership, try some products, do the things. And we're going to be able to do this together. All right, everyone. Hey, God bless. Have an amazing, amazing evening. Thank you for your time.